They're witches.
So, apparently I'm a witch.
Because she's a witch.
We've got a witch!
I'm the love witch.
I am a witch.
I am a witch.
I'm a witch!
Sally just came out.
Now the witch is back!
Yes, indeed. The witch is back. Good evening, everybody. Good evening, good evening, good evening. Welcome to a rather warm and balmy April evening here in the UK. I had to just think then, was it still April? It is just about. Good evening. Welcome to today's stream. What an amazingly lovely and warm stream it is too. Not just, I'm not just talking about like the weather, but I'm also talking about the lovely subscribers and community that we have here on our YouTube space. I'm incredibly thankful. We were talking about it after Sunday's stream actually, about just how welcoming and how warm and lovely it is over here. So yes, good evening to everybody. Good evening, Sarah. I think the notifications are just heading out. At least I believe so. And yeah, it looks like it looks like they are heading out. Good evening to Dormouse and also to Grumpy. Hello, Grumpy. Hi, Lisa, and everyone who joins the chat. Hope everything is well. Had lovely weather. Awesome washing on the line, dried and put away, sheer bliss. That sounds like hard work, to be honest. It does sound like a lot of hard work. I know, right? You go, oh, the weather's nice. We have been to Lidl's today to do a bit of food shopping, but also we bought a new one of those, you know, the water things that you spray and you got to pump it up and get it pressurized. We bought one of those because the ones we had from a couple of years back are starting to get brittle. So that's where you know that we're gardening. In fact, I do have a vlog coming up on the other channel that's all about our garden, and all of my witchy herbs will be included in that. So yes, good evening to Patricia, who is here. Patricia is one of our moderators. It doesn't show up for some reason when I pull up the things here, but you can tell our mods in the chat because their name is blue on the YouTube chat. Okay, their name is in blue and they've got a little spanner or a wrench next to their name. That's how you can tell. No worries about the caps, Melinda. Sorry, Patricia. Melinda, good evening to you. Melinda has a coffee cup next to her name, as does Patricia and in fact Sarah, Shannon Demdike, the Wiccan Midnight Crafter, because those people are members on the channel, and you can join our membership now from $2.99 a month. You now get all of the perks at that level, and it means that hopefully it makes it a bit more affordable to people. Now, the way the memberships works is that YouTube takes its 30% off the top, so £1, and then what's left, we take 10% and give it to the PDSA, the People's Dispensary for Sick Animals, which is a charity here in the UK that helps animals who need vet care. And they also do a lot of stuff around if you find an injured dog in the street or something, they quite often look after those. So yeah, they're an amazing charity. And we also give 10% to our local homeless shelter, which is called St George's Crypt here in Leeds. And then the rest of it goes to pay for camera equipment and eventually a new computer. Because I don't know if you can hear that whirring noise. That's the fans on this little computer box of mine. I ask it to do an awful lot of work. So yes, Melinda is a a member here as well. And so, yes, thank you very much for those of you who are choosing to join our membership. It's very, very kind. So today's t-shirt, because if you know what's going on in the UK, you know that we are fighting. Today we have the TERFs. Do, 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 do. The TERFs are not the Smurfs. The TERFs are horrendous people who believe very firmly that I should probably be put in front of a firing line and shot, basically. So the TERFs are, yeah, not very great people, to be honest, but that's the t-shirt for today. I'm wearing the Billy Road Warrior earrings. So as you can see, look, aren't they lovely? And these are available on the eBay shop. So if you go to the website witchesroad.co.uk, there's a link. The very first thing, there's a link on the header that will take you straight for these. The earrings have all gone out. If they haven't arrived with the first orders from Sunday, if they haven't arrived, they should be with you tomorrow, because it's a 48-hour postage. There you go. Right then, Dormouse. Grumpy was out putting wildflowers out today to attract the bees. You have an ooh. I hope you got an EpiPen on standby. Tell Grumpy I said hello. We had a lovely little chat on the eBay. I know, right? I didn't even know you could do that. We've been chatting on the eBay. Make sure you've got an EpiPen then. Make sure you got an We had a bee. Rufus called me the other day, not when we had an emergency out the front, but he called me the other day and he was like, Lisa, come here. There's a bee. So I was like, okay. Out I go to the garden, and he'd caught a little bee that was just like staggering around a bit drunk. And I said, hang on, I'll get a little pot. So I had a little pot, put it in the little pot, and I made a little bit of sugar water and and the bee was like right near the sugar water. I'm assuming that they suck some of it up, because then the bee kind of waited, and I was like, shall I put them on my hand? What do I do? And then so I brought them into the kitchen, and then I was just like, oh, please have some more sugar water, please have some more sugar water. And then literally he went, thanks for that, bzz, bzz, and out the window. I was like, oh, saved a bee. That felt very good. Sorry, Dormouse, you know, one of the evil killer bees out there. But yes, hopefully you've got an EpiPen on standby. You saw the shorts. I know. I had to film it. I was like, yay, here come the first orders. Hi, Mr. Dormouse, Mr. Grumpy. Yes, you've got yours in. Do you know what? It took. They have been a right faff getting the right crystals and finding the wholesaler to get the crystals. It's been a right old faff. It really has. But I'm happy where we are now, and I'm happy, and I've got more sterling silver wires have arrived for the next batch. So yeah, I'm happy. They're either sterling silver or the post ones that are for the Alice ones, the garnet and where are they? Oh, they're here. These ones, you can't see it from there, can you? But the garnet and fire agate ones, those ones are what's it called? Stainless steel. So yeah, there's no nasties involved. Belinda Jane Harris, good evening to you, my darling. Evening all. Evening, Belinda. I hope you are well. So then, as always, I need to go through the housekeeping rules on the channel, because that's a really important thing, and it also just means that that we are doing all the things that we need to do here. So before we go any further, I will press the magic button. Where is the magic button? There it is. Right then. So before we go on, here's the housekeeping. Tarot is for entertainment purposes only. You do make all of your own decisions about your own life. Tarot should never be used to replace medical advice, legal advice, financial advice, or counselling advice. If you're looking for support in these areas, please do seek out professionals in these areas. You do have to be 18 years of age or over to get a tarot reading on this channel. And remember, please don't share private information here or anywhere else on the internet that you wouldn't want anyone or everyone finding out about now or anytime in the future. Yay, that is absolutely true. Please do not dox yourself accidentally. It's very important. So then, there are two ways to get a reading on this channel. The main way is to send it through a super chat. That guaranteed. Oops, that was a tarot deck. Just decided to. No, it wasn't. It was my phone. Oh, let's not break my phone. That's one thing I can't afford to replace this year. So then, what was I saying? Yes, there's two ways to get a guaranteed reading on the channel. Well, there's one way to get a guaranteed reading, and that is to send your question through in the form of a super chat. That comes through automatically. It means you take the next open position for a reading. If you donate £8 or $10 or more, you get a longer reading. I've got a really powerful 7-card spread that I'm using at the moment. I've used it on myself a couple of times. It's very good. It's a good spread. So if you want that, it's called the Safe Passage spread. If you want that, it is from Agatha all along, because you know. But yeah, if you want me to do that, then that is a longer reading. But also any of the spreads I use for the £10 or above readings, $10 or above readings, sorry, those all go into a bit more nitty gritty. We really like getting below the surface layer with those. Or if you just want to request a freebie reading, that's perfectly fine. All you need to do is wait until you hear this noise. When that noise happens, it absolutely means the first round or the next round is open. At that point, get your keyboard or your little touchscreeny thing on your phone and type the word question and then put your question in. Okay? If you've got that word question at the front, it means that your question will be put into the hat, and the keeper of the questions will randomly select a card or a person to have that reading by. Okay, if we get more than one person, as I say, it's randomized by the keeper of the questions. If we get more than one super chat that comes in at the same time, in the same sort of couple of seconds, then they go in the order they come in. So if we get 3, then whoever they come in, even if it's by milliseconds, YouTube's really good. It's like we'll do them in the order they come in, and once those are done, then we open up another round. Hopefully all of that makes sense. So I've got 2 decks today because I've been missing using the Lightseers. Now, yes, I know it's a bit of a basic witch deck. It's a bit of a, oh, it's fluffy woo-woo, love and light. But it's also it's a gentler version in my mind of like the Fifth Spirit. The Fifth Spirit is my go-to deck of choice for the last, I think I've had this 2 years now. It's an amazing deck. Even Patricia, who's been doing tarot for more years than I have, and I've been doing it 30 years, even Patricia has fallen in love with this deck because it is so, it's so no fluff. No airs and graces, no bells and whistles. It just tells it as it is, and I love that for this. But sometimes we want a gentler deck, and it's like if this is the element of earth, so very grounded, this is water, very a little bit softer and a little bit more, okay, look, sit down, I'll break it to you like this. Whereas this deck is, oh, by the way, do you know what I mean? Do you know what I mean? This is going on one of those American programs and doing the DNA test. This one is, I think we need to have a conversation. Do you know what I mean? That's the difference. So then we're going to be using both decks today, probably, just depending on what the questions are and how we feel. If you've got a particular deck you would like me to use, that is always an option as well. So then let me just have a quick catch up in the chat. Your daughter last night called. She had stopped the car and rescued an injured seagull. Oh, she brings home everything. You're so glad she's married and not bringing them to me. Oh, but see, yeah, I've also done that. Unfortunately, it was a magpie and it was in the garden, but unfortunately it was already gone. Well, just about gone. I held it in my arms and it went. I think it had possibly flown and hit next door, like upstairs' window, and then fell to the ground. And in our garden, just in front of where the windows are, just to the side of this window, there's like a walkway bit, and then there's this the raised wall with the garden sort of on that side. So that little walkway bit has got drains and things in it. It had fallen into that, but when we picked it up, it looked like it had been partially eaten by one of the cats from next door's garden. It, you know, it obviously had bite marks or some sort of damage, unfortunately. So I did actually weep a little tear, yeah, unfortunately that magpie didn't survive. But I've had other animals that we've taken in survive. In fact, quite a few, actually. It's your hubby that brings in the invalid wild animals for you to save. Oh, Sarah, if you rescue animals, you're a superstar in my eyes. Absolutely, I wholeheartedly agree. Oh, Sarah, that's lovely. That is lovely. You wouldn't have it any other way. Evening, Holland. Just nipping into shower. Shower. That's a Yorkshireism. It's not misspelt. It doesn't say just nipping into the shower. It's literally shower. It's a Yorkshireism, which is a place in the UK if you're from outside. We'll join you after that. Okay, my darling, no worries at all. Belinda, you'll tell your daughter that, but remind her she has her own. Yes. You take the poorly animals to your own house. That's how that works. You get lots of injured deer, but have a fantastic where on earth are you then, Dormouse? You've got a wildlife ambulance that comes to assist. That's amazing. It really is, isn't it? It really, really is. You're learning so much joining in these lives. Oh, thank you, Dormouse, my love. I am going to be doing some more witchy type videos now. Everything's sort of a bit more stable again. There are going to be some more witchy videos to come on general witchiness. I can smell onions, which means Rufus must be starting to cook. We've got lots of shallots that are going for dinner today because there was some reduced, so why not? So then, what was I going to say? Oh yeah, this. It is time. Let's go ahead, open the very first round of the evening. Go ahead. Your question can now be thrown in the hat. In the bucket, in the rolly thing from the bingo machines, whatever it is, however the keeper of the question selects them this week, your question can now be put into the live. So go ahead, write your question, starting with the word question, and one of those will get selected at random. Or of course you can send it through as a super chat if you want to guarantee. Good evening, Aquilarius. If you want to guarantee your reading is up next and the first one out of the first cab off the rank, you can do that by sending it through. Don't forget you've got the option for a longer reading if you want. Either way, you've got about 30 seconds to get your questions in before we close this round. So go ahead, get your questions in, and this time we're going for a nice relaxing, because Holland's gone for a shower, we'll go for a waterfall, which is nearly the same thing almost if you think about it. It's like nature's shower, isn't it? Yes, just think of those Radox adverts from when we were kids. Yes, that one. Ask your question now. Send your question as a super chat to guarantee your 3-card reading is next. Donations of $10 or £8 or over will receive a longer 6 or 7 card reading. To try for a free reading, write your question in the live chat starting with the word question. If no super chats come in, a free question will be chosen at random. And if you need help, just ask one of our mods. And as I always say, the mods have their names in blue on this wonderful app. So if you ever wonder who a mod is, or if you've got any questions during the stream that are about the readings or about the stream itself, how to get a reading, how to join the membership, anything at all like that, just ask one of the mods. So then, keeper of the questions, where is even my my WhatsApp? There we go. Keeper of the questions, I have it. Thank you very much. So Belinda's apparently asked a question. Let me have a look. Bear with. Is there? Hang on a second. There we go. Where are we going? Yay! There we go. Question. I have a disrespecter in my family, and I just wonder, do they deep down know their behaviour is out of order, or do they believe their own lies? You're finding it difficult. You're such a softie. Good question. Oh. Do you know what? I was all ready with this deck, but let's go for Fifth Spirit. Let's go for the Fifth Spirit deck. Let's get it nuts and bolts and everything. Do you know what I mean? Let's get it. How can I put it? Let's get the information as abrupt or whatever as possible. Why is the screen a little bit weird tonight? I don't know. Right, let me just maybe this needs angling just slightly. Maybe pull it down. Oh yeah, there it is. That's better. That's better. Right then, look at that. This week I remembered not to adjust the camera when you were all on screen, because sometimes it makes people feel a little seasick. I know it's a little bit skewy because of the way it's angled, but it does mean that this area here is a bit more in shot. So then, let's have a look. So, as always, we ring the bell to cleanse, go in a clockwise direction, because clockwise brings positivity. That way we bring negativity, but we want positivity with a cleansing. And let's bring in Wispy. So Wispy is the air elemental dragon that I work with. So just let me raise this question up. No. The question, please. The question. It is the question, the chat that I need to raise. There we go. Fabulous. Make that shift. So then, here we go. Wispy, Belinda would like to know, someone in their family is disrespectful, and Belinda wants to know, do they know that they're being rude? Oh, so difficult not to swear then. I really wanted to swear. Do they know that they're being disrespectful? Do they believe their own lies? Or do they believe their own lies, right? So do they know what they're doing? Is this like somebody who's just malice, or do they just think that everything is fine and they believe that they themselves are victims when they're, the aggressor, and whatever the other situations may be? Does this person believe they have done, that they are in the right? Okay, that's what we want to know, Wispy. So I'm going to do a 2-option spread, Belinda. So this moon here will be, let me just get a good shuffle in. So on the left hand side here, this moon will be the flaming Nora. Sorry, my hands haven't been good today. It's because I've been doing stuff in the garden. But the left hand moon will be the first option, which is that they know that they're out of order, right? This is, they know what they're doing, and either they don't care if it causes offense, or that's the reason. Okay, this side here will be, they are completely oblivious. They are so in their own bubble, which is a polite way of saying up their own backside, but they're in their own bubble so much that they are just completely oblivious as to how their actions affect other people. And then we'll have a look at the card in the center if we need that decider. Okay, Wispy, so we know what's what, Wispy. This side, if it's, they know what they're doing. This side, if they are just in their bubble. And central, if there is, if we need a decider, if it gets a bit confusing. So let's have a look. We've got 4 of Pentacles, stagnant energy. Okay. Ooh. This suggests that maybe they haven't learned any lessons. Maybe. Oh, but stagnant. Maybe, brain. If this is that they know, there's a bitterness here. Oh, Wispy, give me that again. There was a word. What's that word, Wispy? What's that word, Wispy? What's that word, Wispy? Oh, come on. It was right there. It was right on the tip of my tongue. What was it? What was it that I just had float through my head? It's not grievance. There's another word. What's it called? Grudge. There's a grudge. Oh, right. let's just double check. Let's just double check. 9 of Wands, lack of confidence. Oh, right, I know what this is. And a 4, we go with the 4. So, oh my God, Belinda, this is somebody who is holding a grudge and holding a, what's it called? Oh my God, there's a word for it, where you hold a grudge for a long time. This is something that has been, there's a reason somebody got pissed off, right? Somebody got pissed off a while ago and they are holding on to it. They are holding on to that grudge. And this is something that has now become pernicious. You know what I'm trying to say, pernicious. It is something that has become like, it's become their way of being now. They aren't just holding a grudge, they are it's like, it's a bit like, you know, when you don't invite someone to a wedding, right? Say for example there's a big family wedding, and then all of a sudden, like 6 months or 3 months before the wedding, it has to get scaled back. So instead of having like 400 guests, there's now going to be like 90 guests. And so you have to uninvite some people, right? Through nobody's fault. That's just what needs to happen. And so you go through and you say, well, look, these are my close family members. These are my, my best friends. These are husband's close family members, husband's best friends. That leaves us like 3 people that we can invite. So you do your best, but there's always going to be that cousin's brother, or that childhood friend who then gets uninvited because they're not actually in your life. They're not part of the family for either of you. They're not part of the immediate friendship circle for either of you. And they get really, they get their nose out of joint and they hold that grudge. This is that, right? Because this 4 of Pentacles is work, career, finances. So there could be a money issue at the root of it, but at the root of it is what we're looking at. This goes deep into those roots, okay? As I said, when it turned out, 4s are stagnant. This is something that has been like dug under the, you know, like, this is going to sound gross if you're eating your dinner, I apologize, but you know, sometimes if you get a splinter, right, and you don't get it out, you get that little, like, you get a little red bit, don't you? And if you still ignore it, it gets a little bit infected and it pusses up. That is what's happened. Originally it was a splinter, something and nothing, easily fixed, not a problem, dead easy to deal with. And then because it never got addressed, it's become this infected, pustulous, nasty horribleness. This is how this person is seeing you, right? So this disrespecter in your family, yes, they do know they're out of order. They do know, but it's almost like they can't help themselves because they've got this growing grudge and this resentment in them. It's resentment was the word I was looking for. That resentment is just growing like a cancer. And the problem is that whether or not they are actively knowing that, oh, I'm saying this really hurtful thing, or whether it's just, you know, they look at you and that this moment comes back, or they look at you and it'll be like that in that scenario I said, it'll be like that friend every time they look at you, or every time you meet up, in the back of their head is, oh, that's really nice, and oh, thank you for inviting me for coffee and that. You didn't invite me to your wedding though, did you? Oh, thank you for, you know, thank you for the Christmas presents. They were really, really lovely. They don't make up for not inviting me to your wedding though, do they? Do you know what I mean? Under the surface, that level, it's not been forgotten and it's not been forgiven, and that resentment is sticking. In terms of when I said about, are they just so naive that they don't know, that this echoes this here, because this 9 of Wands, sorry for the jangling, the 9 of Wands is all about, Wands for me is all about security, confidence, self-esteem, and the 9s are massive. So the 9s, if it was this way up, they are 100%, right, knowing full well, because they know themselves so much, blah 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 blah. When it's this way round, it's saying that there is a hell of a lot of a lack of self-esteem. They aren't very confident. They do not love and approve of themselves, right? There is a lot of inner bleh going on in terms of how they feel about themselves, and because of that they're resentful, because of that they're jealous, because of that whatever this incident was that happened, that's where this is coming from. Now the Four of Wands in here, as a decider, it's literally deciding between, we've got Wands on one side and the Four on the other. This backs up this, because this again is speaking of the stability, right? And this is that stability. Here we've got that stagnant energy. It's been left to fester. It's been left to rot. It's been left to ruin. That is something that I think, if you can think back, Belinda, and see, is there a reason that this happened? Is there a reason that, you know, that you can think of where they would have got their nose out of joint? If there is, then you've got two choices. You either go, look, I'm sorry I didn't invite you to the wedding, but you know what happened, blah, 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 right? Or you just go, oh my God, you are acting like a complete child. Get the F over it. Get over it. Like, why are you holding this grudge for so many years? It doesn't matter. I don't think, right, in terms of the way this person, the way this card and these two are like tilted, I don't think that this person is going to back down, right? I do not think. I think this is purely and simply that they are like, they've their nose is out of joint, they're butthurt about it, and well, you're never going to get married again, are you? So, or I'll just wait till your next wedding, then I'll get an invite. There's no way you can make up for it. You really hurt me, you know. It's like, get over it. It wasn't even your problem. Do you know what I mean? It wasn't even aimed at you. That is what this is saying. So I hope that helps, my darling. I think the way to deal with it, my darling, the way to deal with it is to, you can either confront it head on, if you are that sort of person where you're able to sort of, you know, to literally go, do you know what, we need to talk about this. Or you can just go, you're being petty and I haven't got time in my life for that level of petty, and you know what, you do you, have a happy life, I'll see you around. Do you know what I mean? It's entirely down to you how you handle it, but they know what they are doing. They absolutely know what they are doing, my darling. The way these cards have fallen, everything is telling me, not only do they know what they are doing, but it's almost like, I'm not going to say they're doing it out of malice and out of spite, but there is a little bit of, have you ever heard the term duper's delight? That is when somebody is knowingly lying, they can quite often have a little half smile or something appears, and there's a little towel quite often. And some people, when they do that, it's like they think they've won something over you, right? So it's almost like you have a big family gathering, that person comes along, treats you poorly, and then for them it's like, got one up over you. Ha ha. And it might not be that the triggering incident was like, you know, a key moment where you weren't invited to a wedding. It could be something that is really, really, really stupidly minor that you don't even remember, but for them is a big deal. And for them, they've blown it out of all proportion, and that splinter is stuck in their gullet, and they will not and cannot let it go. And in my experience, my darling, those people eventually realize, in my personal experience, I've become very good at shutting those doors to those types of people and not allowing that energy into my life, and with you know, ex-friends and family members. And so for you, my darling, how you choose to handle it is entirely up to you. But yeah, I hope that helps. And I am sure lots of you in the comments could give Belinda some advice on how to handle a family member who has their butt hurt, their nose out of joint, and has that disrespect level. If someone's got some advice, feel free to put it into the chat of how you would handle it. Please don't anybody say that you know someone that can take them out for $5,000 or something, or what is it, a lovely blowfish meal at that Japanese restaurant will take care of it. Do you know what I mean? We don't want any of that going on. This isn't that big, but just how Belinda can handle it. Thank you very much. Right, let's have a look at the chat. I'm sure I just saw Neil pop in. Good. Did I? Yes. Good evening, everyone. Good evening, Neil. Hope you are doing well, my friend. I really, really do. Thank you very much for popping in. Neil's sometimes popped in and lurked a little bit, but has an awful lot going on. So I'm sure we'll see more of Neil in time. Holland is here as well. Curious Holland. Holland's very curious. When we ask how curious, Holland is incredibly curious, very curious, most curious indeed. In fact, curiouser and curiouser, said Holland. Yes, it is, isn't it? It is. And then it's like, well, actually, why has Bob's side of the family, why has Bob's side of the family not been speaking to Brenda's side of the family for the last 25 years? Oh, because Bob wanted their mother's parking space that one Sunday, and Brenda put her car there on the Saturday night and didn't move it, even though Brenda was very drunk and didn't get up till late on Sunday. But they used their mum's it's over a parking space 25 years ago, and now neither side of the family talk to each other. Okay. Yeah, we've never had that in our family, in our big extended family. We've never had that. There has been the natural sort of, my grandmother's mother, she was the matriarch. So in fact, her mother or grandmother was a well-known medium. So it was like matriarch. My grandma's mum, my nanny, I remember, not nanny as in we're posh, we don't look after our own kids, but like that's what we call them. Nanny, grandma, nanny, grandma, nanny, grandma, down the generations. So she had 2 kids, and one boy, one girl, and both of those kids married and had their own lines. But my grandma's mum, nanny, she was the one, while she was alive, we had the biggest family gatherings. Like you're talking like at one point there was my grandma had 3 daughters, her brother had 2 sons and 2 daughters, I think. So there was like all of the kids out of all of these people, tons and tons of kids. We had the biggest family dues. When Nanny passed away in 1982, so it's a long time ago, there just wasn't that link keeping everything together. So after about 10 years, the big family reunions sort of stopped, and then it was like funerals, and then it's just, you lose contact, don't you? Anyway, I don't know why I'm telling you all of this. You can practically smell a lie. Your children could never lie to you. Neither could any family lie to you. No, there's always a tell. There's always a tell. There is always a tell. Belinda, you've done everything for them your whole life. Always putting them first now because life hasn't gone their way. Everything that's gone wrong is yours and your husband's fault. Yes, entirely. What did I say? Resentment, envy, and jealousy. Those are the key things, right? You could bend over backwards, and this person will never see what you've done in the way that in the way that you've done it. Dropped a thing. My toxic sibling would send messages, and they always say, everyone thinks the sun shines out of your bum, but I know the truth. And it's like, I've never once claimed to be holier than thou. I am a very, very flawed human being, and I own my flaws, and I've worked with my flaws, and I've done a lot of shadow work over the years to come to terms with my flaws. I know that I'm not always the best person. However, no one has ever said the sun shines out of my ass. It's just that sibling growing up, that was their issue. Do you know what I mean? Nothing to do with me. Absolutely nothing to do with my life, what I've done, what I've not done, how I've accomplished things, what I haven't done. Nothing to do with that. It's how they see themselves. And there is nothing anyone can ever say. That person, my sibling, will always look at me and think of themselves as less than, because that's what they do. Even though I have never claimed to be anything other than a very flawed human being. Do you know what I mean? And there is nothing. Sometimes people like this, you could do absolutely everything and they would despise you because you're doing absolutely everything, because you're in a position to do absolutely everything for them. And why aren't they in that position? Why don't you need their help so much? Why aren't you the one whose life is a bit crap? Do you know what I mean? There is no dealing with people like this, my darling. You can say to them, look, we've got where we are. We worked really hard. We're still just about making ends meet, but we are just about making ends meet because we've worked our asses off. And luckily, we approach the world as an adult. And if me and hubby, if you and your hubby have an issue, we talk about it as grown adults, right? There is nothing that family member will be looking at you going, oh, well, your life's so perfect. You think your life's so perfect. And it's like, there's no way to win, right? So don't try. Honestly, my darling, don't try. Whatever you do to help will get thrown back in their face. If you help without being asked to help, you'll get it thrown in your face and you'll be accused of like all sorts of like interfering. If they ask for help and you help, they'll be saying, oh, well, I had to ask for help. You should have known that I need it. There is no winning sometimes. There really, really isn't. It's your son who wishes his parents were dead. He's 31. That's nice. My darling, listen, there is nothing that you can do to fix that, right? You could absolutely send back to them what they've sent to you. You could absolutely 100%, right? You could reach out. You could cure them of the worst drug addiction. You could sit by them when they are on a court trial, right? And you could stand by them and say, when you come out of prison for 30 years because you robbed that bank or whatever it is that they've done, some heinous crime, right? I hate what you've done, but I will stand by you. You could say that. It will never be enough. Never be enough, my darling. That stagnant energy, whatever the root of it is, and again, that isn't on you. You cannot control how people think of you. You can't. And this is one of the big things I've had to learn with, not just on YouTube, but in real life. I can't control what people think of me. I can just be my best version of me that I'm capable of being. And sometimes I fail miserably at that. But all I can do is be me. If people don't like it, fine. I'm not going to try and change their mind. Their image of me, their opinion of me is down to them. I can't do anything about that. It's none of my business, right? In the same way, if you think about a pop star, let's say Lady Gaga, because I was playing Abracadabra earlier, right? You may love Lady Gaga. You may hate Lady Gaga. But at the end of the day, that's on you. It's got nothing to do, it does not affect that person in any way, shape or form. It's your opinion. And what we've got to learn is people in our real lives, people that are close to us, it's the same thing. Your son, my darling, it's his opinion. You can probably never change that. It hurts like hell when it's family, right? Which is why I always say family for me is the people I choose in my life, not the people I have a biological DNA connection with. I hope that helps. Listen, I would recommend for you, I would recommend counselling, right? On how to deal with a family member who's acting this way. I would absolutely recommend that, because it's very easy when the person that's being so disrespectful and so hate-filled is close to you. It can be very easy to take all of that on board and say, well, I must have done something. There must be a reason. Speak to a trained counsellor, my darling, and just find a way of being at peace with the fact that they may never be the son that you are, or you may never have the relationship that you would want, and that sometimes is okay. You cannot control that. Honestly, my darling, some of the best counselling that I've ever had in my life is about me learning that other people's opinion of me is not my concern. It doesn't matter. I hope that helps. I really do. Right then. Sorry about that. We got quite deep with that one, didn't we? I know. Right, let's have a look. Good evening to Sonia. I've just seen you in the chat, my darling. Honestly, my darling, you'll never win. Absolutely. Honest, my love, I would 100% say to you to get some counselling support for you, because it's very, very difficult. It's very difficult. Your friend's sister asked if you were a medium. You said you used to be a medium, but now you're an extra large. Kaboom! Tsh. Hang on. Have I got? Tsh. Have I got that? Tsh. Yeah, this is it. And as Meatloaf said, 2 out of 3 ain't bad. That was so... sorry. That was so bad. You've got to sing Meatloaf at full belt. Otherwise, it just doesn't sound right. I apologise very, very much. Right. Okay. Good evening to Sonia. Let's have a look. Did I see Sophie? No, I didn't see her, Sophie. Right. Codeb, good evening to you, my darling. No problem at all. Right then, what we will do, everybody, shall we have a round? I think we need to have a round. Not play a round. That means something different. I was about to say, unless you're playing golf, but then that means something different again, doesn't it? So then, I think it is time for this. So then go ahead, pop your question into the live chat, starting with the word question, and one of those will get selected at random. If you would like to, you can always send your question through as a super chat. That also helps myself and the channel, helps keeping us doing what we're doing here. I do have some tarot cards to actually review. Those videos hopefully will be coming up. It'll be next month now because I've got all behind on this month's videos, but that will be happening. Don't forget, you can also join our membership if you would like to, and you've got 30 seconds, everybody, so I am going to press the magic button. What's that song, Lisa? What's that song? Puff the magic. Puff the magic dragon. Yeah, Puff the magic dragon. That's what we're going to do now. I'm going to press the magic button. I keep trying to press it. But anyway, right, press this.
Join the Crow Collective. Help to support this channel by becoming a member here on YouTube. From £2.99 per month, you will gain access to members-only perks, live streams, competitions, sneak peeks, and more. Just click on join for more information. Thank you to all our members.
And apologies if you heard me drinking then. I normally mute while I'm grabbing a slurp of drink. I've got squash today because it's so warm outside, and of course I've got my coffee. So then we've got, hang on, what did I say? Grace. Grace. Puff the magic dragon lived by the sea and frolicked in the autumn mist in a land called Battersea. It wasn't Honolulu. In a land called Pharmacy. No, in a land called... What was the land called? Puff the magic dragon lived by the sea and frolicked in the autumn mist in a land called Lisa Lee. No idea. Right, okay, serious stuff now. Let's go back to the tarot reading. If you can let me know though, because otherwise I will have to get the old Alexa device to why is that just a thing? I will have to get the computer to play Puff the Magic Dragon. Right, let's have a look. So we are, does Spirit want you to invest in the new relationship you're currently in? Good question, M. Grace. There we go. And we're bringing the ever lovely Wispy. It's getting a little wee bit darker in here now, so I will turn the lights on. Are the lights on? That's Beyonce, I know. My ADHD brain is just running rampantly through the music today, isn't it? It really is. By the way, look at the state of my nails. You can see I've been in the garden. Look at that, all chipped off and everything. I've been planting out. I potted up my lavender plants. So put that in another big tub. It's like huge tub now. And my one of my rosemaries, because they were desperately getting leggy. So yes. Right then. Here we go. Does Spirit, Wispy, does Spirit want M. Grace to invest in their new relationship? Should M. Grace invest in their new relationship? I think means with time and energy, not with like finances. So then we'll have a look at where you are right now. So, the Knight of Pentacles, or that maybe finances. What you need to know, 7 of Pentacles. Choices here about growth and the outcome. What's going for the future? 7 of Cups. My darling, you've got a lot of questions about this relationship, more than just this one here. You've got questions. Right, okay, let's look. So, I'm going to, Wispy, we're going to simultaneously, we are going to pull a single card from Lightseers, okay? And I'll tell you what it is in a second, so I'm going to shuffle it. So, Knight of Pentacles. The Knight of Pentacles for me, Knights are teenage rebellious energy, right? This is where you are now. Pentacles is about career, work, finances, or growth. Increasingly with this deck, I see it as growth. Energy you put out, the materialistic things that you put out and you want back. In terms of this relationship, obviously we're looking at that growth factor. We're not necessarily looking at just from emotions like, are you going to feel loved and all of that stuff. We're not necessarily looking at that. We're looking at, are you going to put the effort in? Is this a relationship you should work to enhance? Do you know what I mean? That's what we're talking about. Now, Knights being that teenage rebellious energy, they act first, think later. When the Knight is reversed for me, it means I really get the impression that this might be a situation where you are doubting the veracity of the relationship. You're doubting it a lot, right? Not just, is this the right person for me? Are we happy? Blah, blah, blah. There's something deeper here that you are questioning, because this card is coming up and saying that initial, it's almost like if I said to you, listen to your heart, right? Do you want to be in this or not? It's like your gut instinct would be, no. Do you know what I mean? It's like, right, absolutely right now, with a toss of a coin, if you say, if it comes up heads, it means yes. Are you going to be in fact, let's actually, why am I even doing, Wispy, we're going to not do the card pull. I'm going to do the coin instead, Wispy. So here we go, Grace, we've got a yes coin. Hopefully you can see that. Yep. And on the back is a no coin. Very simple, very, very simple, right? Very simple. So what we're going to do is I'm going to toss the coin. Okay, very simple, very, very simple. If it lands on yes, then you've got to work really hard, whatever it takes. You've got to build this relationship. You've got to put your all into it. Take that energy, work with that energy, do the effort, do the work, whatever it takes. Let's put all of your heart and soul and all your effort into this relationship, right? If it comes up no, it means walk away. It means that's it. Nope. Ding, ding, ding. Last orders at the bar. That is it now. Time to go. We're closed now. Beyond closing time. Let's leave. Right? So we're going to toss the coin. We're going to toss the coin. That's what we're going to do. Right? So I'm not going to show you which way round. In fact, I'm not even going to know which way round the coin sits on my hand. There we go. Right? So there we go. So are you ready? What do you want it to be? Put in the chat right now. What do you want it to be? Do you want it to be yes or no? What do you want this coin to be? Put it in the chat. Before I unveil it, put it in the chat right now, M. Grace. If it comes up yes, it means you've got to work really hard with this relationship. If it comes out no, it means you walk away from it right now. What do you want it to be? Tell me what you want it to be. Put it in the chat. I'm not going to lift my hand off and I'm not going to carry on with the reading before you tell me what you want it to be. What is it? Do you want it to be yes? Which means putting all of that time and effort? Right. That is your answer. That is your answer. The coin doesn't matter. The coin doesn't matter. That is your answer, right? It's something that I was taught when I was doing some counseling training. Your gut instinct, oh, thank you, Holland. Your gut instinct says what you want to do. So there may be doubts and there may be questions. There absolute might be. But you right now, you want to put that work and that effort in. You want to make this relationship work. Okay? Which means that is your answer. That is what you need to do. Now, the cards are showing that there are questions here, right? We've got the Knight of Pentacles, which means that there is a doubt about the growth element. We've got this here. We've got the Seven of Pentacles. Again, growth. This is about asking questions about growth. This is what you need to know. And this is you asking those questions. How do you want this to grow? Is this relationship at its fruition? Is this like bearing fruit? Or do you keep watering and nurturing and stay hopeful for years to come? How do you choose this? This is all about your choice. And in the outcome, we've got choices again, questions again around your emotional self. So all of these three cards are saying that you've got some questions, right? So you have questions here. Because there is no definitive answer with these three tarot cards, that is why I pulled out the yes no coin. Because this is saying that you're asking too many questions, right? And that sometimes asking questions can be a great thing. And we should always question, especially if we're new into a relationship, we should always question where we've got, how we feel. Do I really think this? Do I really want that? We should always question ourselves, but sometimes we can question it too much. And this coin, you wanted it to land on yes, which tells everybody, and it should tell you, that you want this relationship to work. You want this relationship. So you might be questioning. Sometimes over questioning a situation can be just as bad as raising no questions at all. So I think you're absolutely right to have questions about a new relationship. Of course you are. Of course you are. You should always have that in the back of your mind. Where are we going with this? Is this going to develop? The way that these cards have fallen, because your question was, does Spirit want you to move forward? The questions, the cards are saying you've got questions, and Spirit, whether that is from a deity, from a god, or from a prophet, whether that spirit is from ancestors, whether that spirit is the universal energy, whether it's Reiki, whether it's Michael Jackson's ghost, whatever it is, right? Whatever it is, it's got questions, because you have those fundamental questions. But this coin, this is what you wanted, right? And that is what you need to work with. Does that make sense? Does that make sense? Because it doesn't matter what the cards are saying, because the cards in this case are saying you have questions. Have those questions, my darling, but work through them, right? If they are red flags, that's a little bit different. If there is something happening in the relationship that is abusive, there is something happening in the relationship where somebody is raising their voice, if there is something happening in the relationship that you are not comfortable with in any way, that's different. But if you're asking questions about, is this the one? Is this the person I'm going to be with forever? How about seeing if this is the person you're going to be with for this next month? And if you're happy at the end of this next month, is this the person I'm going to be with in June? Is this the person I'm going to carry on with till maybe Christmas time? Oh, we're going to be happy till Christmas. And then what about maybe for next summer? Maybe we could book a holiday for next summer, because we're going to be together for next summer. I am in a relationship now that's lasted 10 years this October, right? Absolutely bonkers. 10 years this October. Before this relationship, my longest relationship was 3 months. For the first 3 years, I was convinced that it was going to end. I was convinced, because I hadn't been in a long-term relationship, and Rufus's longest relationship was 3 years. So I thought, if I get to 3 years, then that's good going. We've been together 10 years. I can't imagine us never being in each other's lives. I can't imagine us never being, not being together. I can't imagine a world where I don't wake up and he's next to me. Could not imagine it. Unless it's like one of us is in hospital or someone's gone away for a weekend or whatever, right? Sometimes you've just got to trust that you know, and if you want to be in this relationship and the person you're in a relationship in wants to be with you, you've just got to trust it. I hope that helps. And yes, Holland is entirely right, entirely 100% correct. That yes, I did learn that trick from a psychology counselling course. I think it may have come from my A-levels, and I was 17, 18 when I studied that. How old are you when you do that? Yeah, 17, 18. So yes, there you go. Only took 30 years for it to be useful, but anyway, we got there eventually, didn't we? So I hope that helps, my love, and thank you very much for your question. Right, let's have a look. Let's have a look. I'm glad that helped. Absolutely, and it does make sense. Well, there you go, Grace. You just needed a gobby old cow on YouTube to tell you to listen to your heart. It is something. Listen to your heart. Again, forgetting lyrics. There could be a whole thing, which I've also seen. Let me see. Have we got Puff the Magic Dragon, Live by the Sea? Where is it? Collar-Lee. Is it? Honolly. Curious is saying Honolly. Collar-Lee. We've got another one. You bought that record with your first week's wages. Do you know what? The first record I ever bought was Black Box, Right on Time. Honolly, spelt that way. Other people are spelling it differently. Ooh. Collar-Lee. In a land called Connolly. Could be Connolly. Honolly. Could be. The song was nothing to do with drugs. It was about growing up and leaving childhood behind. Was it? Or was it about other things? Puff the Magic Dragon. Earlier your brain was doing the same thing. You couldn't find any trolleys, and the old brain started singing, where have all the trolleys gone? What? Where have all the trolleys gone? Long time passing. No idea. Holland was right. Honolly. Oh. Will there be growth? Yes. Spare him his life for his poor sausage tea. Spare him his life for his poor sausage tea. Easy come, easy go. Will you let me go? Bismillah, no, we will not let you go. Let me go. Bismillah, we will not let you go. Let me go. We'll not let you go. Let me go. We'll not let you go. Go. You've got a naughty saying from... Oh, go on then. What is your naughty saying? Beelzebub has a... I'm not singing that. I am not singing that. I haven't heard that before. I haven't heard that before. Nope, that's a new one on me. I'm never going to be able to hear that song again. Wow. Explains the high note singing. Oh, that's funny. Right, let's have another round before it gets very smutty. Wowza. Right then, so... yes, let's... Oh, gosh. But easy come, easy... Easy come, easy go. You lot get me into trouble. You do. I thought I was the smutty one. Too many Carry On films growing up. That's what it was. Possibly, yes. Possibly. Right then, let's get the questions. The round is open. Pop your question into the live round, starting with the word question. One of those will get selected at random. Or you can always send it through as a super chat if you want to guarantee that your place is up next. Don't forget, with super chats, 10% goes to the PDSA, 10% goes to our local homeless shelter, 30% goes to the YouTube gods, and the rest we spend back on the channel. So then we did a waterfall, haven't we? We've been there. One of the other things that is my favorite place to go and hang out is here.
Ask your question now. Send your question as a super chat to guarantee your 3-card reading is next. Donations of $10 or £8 or over will receive a longer 6 or 7 card reading. To try for a free reading, write your question in the live chat starting with the word question. If no super chats come in, a free question will be chosen at random. And if you need help, just ask one of our mods.
Yes, indeed. Ask any one of our mods. Welcome back to the channel. No, that didn't make any sense. Welcome back to the channel, Neil. That's what I was going to say. Who has popped in again today. So then, I have been given the name. Oh, hang on. Where's it gone? Oh, gosh. I need to move that one up there and that one there so that when the messages come through, it sits below that and I can still see it. Melinda, you are up, my darling. Melinda Brown. Melinda. Let's have a look at Melinda. Yes, do please, Sarah. Sarah, I know that you and I in a pub with a few cheeky little drinky poo-poos, adult libations. I know that you'll be singing me all these different variations of rude versions of songs, right? I know you would. But if I do that on the YouTube, I will get into a lot of trouble. Well, I won't get into a lot of trouble. Just some trouble. I'm a good girl these days. I know, right? Does anyone else have a phrase? I'll get to you, Melinda. Does anyone else have a phrase, right, that they say part of a sentence that is in itself? They say a sentence, right? I'm a good girl, I am. That is my trigger sentence. My brain automatically wants to follow up with, I washed my hands and face before I came, I did. And it always in a mock Cockney accent, right? Every single time. And it's from My Fair Lady, the musical. Because when brain fart number 374, when it's gone again, but when I keep wanting to say it, it's like right on the top of my tongue. When she, the main character, is being looked at by Henry Higgins and the maids and all of the staff, they're all like, oh, she'll need a bath, and she says, oi, I'm a good gal, I am. Wash my face and hands before I came, I did. Thank you, Belinda. Eliza. Yes, Eliza Doolittle. Wash my face and hands before I came, I did. So every time I ever say, or anybody ever near me says, I'm a good girl, I am, that's the next thing that goes through my head every single time. So just know, if you ever hear me say, I'm a good girl, I am, that's what goes through my head. So yes, there you go. I know, right? You're learning all about my psychology today, aren't you? All about my poorly brain farty brain. So Melinda, let's cleanse. Wash my face and hands before I came, I did. And we're going to... I know, right? You come here for tarot and I just talk nonsense, don't I? I talk nonsense. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. Right then, Wispy. The ever lovely Melinda Brown, who we still need. I would say, Melinda, we need to do a, what is it, 1, 2, 3 and me, but they've gone bust. Maybe we'll just say we're like continental cousins and leave it at that. We'll just say we are, because I don't want to get a DNA test, then our results get, bought out by Jeff Bezos or Elon Musk or someone, and then they start cloning us in the future. It landed face down, so it's not classed as a doodah, as a doodah. Clarifying or modifying card. My poor brain today. What is going on? What is going on? Right, Wispy. So Melinda wants to know, will tomorrow's event that they're hosting in the yard go well? I'll go better than my blooming shuffling. Look at this. What is this? What is going on? What's the event, Melinda? Why didn't we get an invite? Probably because we're like several thousand miles away, but you know what I mean. Wispy, will Melinda's event tomorrow that they're hosting, will it go well? Will the event in Melinda's yard go well? There we go. That's what we want to know. A bit of encouragement, please, for Melinda Brown. And we are going with, what do we want to look at? I'll tell you what, we'll do the standard. Where you are, what you need to know, and what the future outcome is, what the outcome will be. Okay, that's what we're doing. That's what we're doing. So, oh gosh, my poor hands. Right then, here we go. So, where you are now. No, this doesn't fit, Wispy. Hang on. Wispy, we're changing. We're going to do a... We're going to read them all together, Wispy, as an overview of the event. Right? We'll read them all together as an overview of the event. That's what we're going to do. Right. So I will take the top card, Wispy, but the others I'm going to take from the pack. Okay? I have to tell Wispy what's going on. Wispy is the dragon, the air dragon, and in my brain, these cards are not decided yet. It's a bit like Schrodinger's cat, not Schindler's List. That's a completely different thing. It's a bit like Schrodinger's cat, right? These cards, until I turn them over, they are not selected. So that's quantum mechanics theory at work there. I know, right? We've had psychology. Now we're looking at quantum physics. It's ridiculous. But anywho, so 3 cards we're going to look at, Wispy, all together. We're going with the first card, High Priestess. Oh, that's interesting. Some religious-y type thing. Could Melinda be... Could Melinda be... Why do I get... Anyway, okay, we'll have a look. We'll get 7 of Cups, questions and emotional, and the Knight of Wands. Interesting. Right, okay, so the most important one here is the High Priestess. So this is, for me, the High Priestess is all about spirituality and about things being done a certain way. Okay, so this is a great thing, Melinda, if tomorrow's got to be done a certain way, right? So if it's like a, I don't know, say if, oops. I'm not muted. Can you hear me? I'm not muted. Oh, it's back on. Okay. Right, okay. It wasn't muted. I don't understand what was happening with that. Sorry about that. That was all on. Okay, so it feels like, right, I don't know how much you missed what was ever said. Okay. Whatever happened, Jesus, whatever this event is, right, the High Priestess is somebody who is, she is very high up in the deck's pecking order, right? She is, okay, thank you. She is, she likes things done by the book. So if there is something where you've got specific, if there's something where you've got a specific rota, for instance, like at 1 o'clock, guests are arriving, so we're going to do the birthday cake cutting at 1:30, and then the buffet is going to be open at 2 o'clock, whatever it is. If you've got something where you've got the guests arrive at 1 o'clock, the birthday person arrives at 1:30, surprise, then we've got the buffet, then we've got a cake cutting, then we've got a disco. If you've got all of these things that are happening like in a list, then this is going to be you getting, I think you'll be stressed tomorrow. I think after the event you'll be absolutely fine, but I think tomorrow you're going to be stressed. If this is something you're hosting, right, I think you playing host is going to be more important than you being at the party. Right? Does that make sense? It's almost like, I don't think this is an event for you. This is an event where you are, like, you want to make sure that it goes well for everybody else, right? And it's a bit like throwing a birthday party for someone else. You are not the person blowing out the candles, right? You might get to enjoy a piece of cake, but you're not the one blowing out the candles. You're the one making sure the candles are lit and put on the cake, and that the right number of candles are on the cake when the cake goes out. Do you know what I mean? You are that person. You are not the one who's blowing out these candles. So I think you're going to be stressing about it. The High Priestess likes everything by precision. Try not to do that. Right? Try not to be by the letter of the law. Try and be a little bit more relaxed if you can, because there are going to be questions and there are going to be things. The 7 of Cups. Cups is your emotional side. 7 is asking lots of questions. There's a lot of gifts, right? And this could be, it depends what the event is, but it could mean, right, actual physical gifts. I doubt it. This is talking about there are going to be lots of rewards for you from doing this. Right, whether that is kind of going, oh, it was really lovely, I got to see the gender reveal, I got to see, Bob's 90th birthday, oh, you know what I mean? Those sort of rewards are going to be, there's going to be lots of moments where you are going to feel that emotional, oh, as somebody who's hosting, right? More so than if it was just your birthday party and you were cutting the cake. Do you know what I mean? You're going to get more of those. Remember that. Remember those positive feelings, those positive emotions, and all of that, those positive gifts that you are going to get tomorrow, right? Because I think you're going to be knackered. This is telling me Knight of Wands. Knights are the teenage energy, that rebellious teenage energy, right? We're reading this together. I think you are not going to stop. Literally, you can see this person jumping on a skateboard. I think you've probably put a hell of a lot of pressure on yourself with this Wands, and it's almost like if it goes well tomorrow, you'll be able to hold your head up high in the church on Sunday or whatever it is. Do you know what I mean? You'll be able to say, yeah, I did that, and I'm really proud that I made this happen. And I think not a lot of your worth, but it's important to you that you are the one that's done this. And I think it's important to you that you right, I'm going to say it because that's what Wispy's giving me, right? Wispy, it's important to you that you get the recognition, not because you want the pat on the back, right? Not like that. Not that you want to be the lights on me, not in that toxic way, right? It's almost like you want that for yourself, to know that whatever it is, Bob had a really good 90th birthday party. We did the absolute best that we could do for Bob, and everybody had a really good time. I feel really, really fulfilled in myself. It's that kind of acknowledgement, not from everybody else standing around going, oh, Melinda, we just want to thank Melinda for throwing this amazing party. Melinda's such a good hostess. Melinda, the party planner. Oh yes, get her for your funerals, weddings, bar mitzvahs. Oh yes, definitely Melinda. It's not about you, but it's like you've put a lot of effort in. It's important to you that this goes well, and that Bob's birthday goes well, whatever the event is, right? That goes well for you, because there's a lot wrapped in it. But what I would say, this High Priestess, she's an amazing card. She likes to get everything done on point and by the book. Just try and be a bit more, as much as you're hosting the event, try to be a guest at the event as much as you can as well. Does that make sense? Because it would be very easy for you to be that separate, that disjointed person who is just the party planner with, you know, like where they've got the thing and they're like, okay, and we want the doves released in 3, 2, release the doves now. Release the doves. Why aren't you releasing the doves? It'll be very easy for you to get caught up in that, right? If things run late, if the cake's got 94 candles instead of 90, if the stripper jumping out of the cake is, you know, I don't know, comes out at the wrong time, whatever happens during the, I know, right, you can tell what events I go to. Not. But whatever happens, try and relax with it, because the important thing is that you've done everything you can. Things will go wrong, because they always do. At the end of the day, no one's going to remember that the DJ played the wrong first song, or you know, when you sang happy birthday, you know, Bob blew the candles out before the end. No one's going to care about that. Try and have a good time, as much as you're going to be micromanaging, basically, right, is what I'm trying to say. A lot of the efforts already would have been done. Whatever it is, there's a lot of things that you can still do tomorrow, but also remember that you are at this event. If you're hosting it, it means it's people that matter in your life. You know, that's as big a deal, and that's as important to remember, that you're doing this for the love of the people in your life. I assume that this isn't where you're being paid to host the party in your yard. I assume you're doing it for a friend or a family member, rather than it's a paid gig. If it's a paid gig, it's different, but I don't think it is. I hope that helps, my darling. Try and relax and go with it. Take lots of lovely pictures. Get some video footage, take some pictures. We would love photos on Beyond Authentic on Instagram, if you want to send it through so we can have a look. If you're happy with us, posting a picture live as part of next week's stream, that would be lovely. You are a member, so I could always just share it to our members and our mods if that is something that you want. But remember, just because you're hosting and organize the event, you are still an active participant, even if it is just making sure you get a piece of that lovely birthday cake or gatto or whatever the hell it is. Anyway, my darling, I hope that helps. Right, let's have a look at the chat. You're supporting her. You're supporting someone. You get anxiety with a lot of people, like 50 or 60. Try not to, right? High priestesses, they get very in their feelings, make sure everything goes right. Don't worry about it. You want to make sure that things go well. No, it will be fine. You don't have to pay for it. It will be absolutely fine. It will be really good. Just acknowledge that you're supporting your daughter's marriage. Okay, yeah. If it's an anniversary party, that's good. Or a wedding. Good old Scylla. I don't even know. Even though you no longer believe in marriage, you are supporting your daughter and her family. That's good. That's good. That's fine. You might not want a marriage for you. In that case, don't get married again. Surprise, surprise, it hits you between the eyes. Yeah, don't get married again then if you don't believe in marriage. But if you're supporting, if it's a wedding or a something for your daughter and her family, that's amazing then. That's absolutely amazing. If you're doing that, if you're hosting that, that's lovely. 15 foot by 40 foot, that's good. You get anxiety if there are more than 2 people besides you, so you're doing well. I get anxiety if it's just me. So you know what? That's fun. I get anxiety just sat there. That's why one of my favourite songs at the moment is Anxiety. That song. But honestly, Melinda, you're going to be fine. You're going to be absolutely fine, right? Those cards, they look. It looks like a good event. Those emotional moments, those emotional gifts, remember that, right? Remember to take mental snapshots and actual snapshots of whether it's an anniversary party or surprise party or wedding, whatever it is that the celebration is, right? Remember to take those pictures, because you are not just the host of the yard for the party. You are also your daughter's mum. So whether that makes you, you know, mother of the bride, or whether that makes you just mum and grandma, or whatever it is, right? However, depending on what the event is, however you are there as, you are hosting it, but you are also your daughter's mum. So you're also allowed to kick off your shoes, have a little boogie down to Whitney Houston, I Want to Dance with Somebody. You're allowed to kind of, right, do this. You don't just have to be on and go for the doves and go for the, do you know what I mean? Relax with it as much as you can. But yeah, I hope that helps. You want everyone to enjoy themselves. I am sure they will. But you are one of those people. When you say everyone, you are included in that. So you've got to enjoy yourself as much as well. Because again, the memories that your daughter will have for whatever the celebration is, right? Your daughter's memories will be, we all had a lovely time. Mum threw a party, or mum hosted the party, whatever it is. Everybody had a lovely time, and I got to dance with mum or hug mum, or, you know, mum and the kids, me, mum and the husband or the girl or the wife, whoever your daughter's married to or marrying or whatever, whoever your daughter's partner with is. You get to be part of that family celebration, and that's what it is. 10 years ago, you walked her down your eyes because of a 6-year-old son. Oh, my darling. That's lovely. But that is lovely. Listen, your daughter knows you are there for her. She absolutely knows you are there for her, right? So she can't walk you down the aisle. So I guess it's like a, what was it the thing they do? Renewal, vow renewal, re-wedding, or they might have got divorced and got remarried. I'm not sure, but whatever it is, right? If her son's walking her down the aisle, that again, it's going to be a lovely memory, right? So the son walked her down the aisle for the second time. You did it on the first time. There's going to be lots of mother-daughter moments. Just honestly, I think you'll be fine. I think you'll be absolutely fine. Just as I say, that high priestess, remember to enjoy it as much as you want everything to be micromanaged, right? I'm sure your daughter will enjoy it far more if once everything's kind of done, you get to chill and you get to, you know, be there. Your daughter will enjoy that as much as if, or more than if you were just there in freak out mode because, you know, the hedge wasn't fully clipped back, or, you know, whatever it may be. I hope that helps. You don't even know what you're wearing. Something lovely, I am sure. Something lovely. I am sure you will have something in your garden wardrobe. You'll have something in your garden you can wear. Yeah, some hibiscus and a palm leaf, because why not? Yeah, I'm sure. Listen, have fun with it, right? Get lots of lovely photos, and yeah, try and enjoy it. Try and have fun. I think you will. That High Priestess card says that you will. It really does. But yeah, I hope that helps. You've been focusing on regarding the yard and yourself and not yourself. That's fine. Listen, right? If it's a smart event, if you're not worried, right? If you haven't freaked out before now, if you haven't... Jasmine, is that your daughter's name? Oh, that's lovely. If you haven't freaked out, Melinda, about needing to go and buy a big hat or having a mother of the bride outfit, then chances are you've got something perfectly usable in your wardrobe, right? Let's be honest. If it's a casual event, then just make sure whatever you're wearing is clean. Do you know what I mean? If it's a big flash posh event, then I am sure if you haven't freaked out about that, you'll have stuff in your wardrobe that's absolutely fine. And no matter what happens, your daughter wants you to be there, right? And you want to be there for your daughter. And I'm assuming your son-in-law or daughter-in-law, depending on who your Jasmine's it. Jasmine vibes in the garden. Okay. So whoever your daughter is with, right? That I am 100% sure they just want you there, having a lovely time, being part of that celebration, rather than freaking out because your shoes don't match your hat and your scarf is the wrong colour for the flowers, and the cake didn't arrive out on time, and that lilac is a slightly different colour lilac to the flowers that are a slightly... Do you know what I mean? I hope that helps. Enjoy it. And yeah, take some photos, and because we're all nosy, let us know in the members if we can see the photos. Right then, what time is it? Do we have time? We've got plenty of time for another round. Let's do this. Yes, indeed. The round is open. The thingies are in the doodah. So let's go ahead and pop your questions in the doodah. Pop your questions in the live chat. God, my brain. What is wrong with my brain? Pop your questions in the live chat. To be fair, we haven't been getting a lot of sleep, Rufus. No, that sounds rude, Lisa. Don't complete that sentence. We've had a lot of things that we need to wake up for early in our life recently. So we haven't been sleeping as late as we would normally. So we haven't been getting a lot of sleep, if that makes sense, rather than it sounding like it did. Because I know what some of you are like, Sarah. Anyhow, get your questions in the live chat, starting with the word question, all of that stuff that I normally say. And here is your reminder before I dig myself into a great big hole.
Ask your question now. Send your question as a super chat to guarantee your 3-card reading is next. Donations of $10 or £8 or over will receive a longer 6 or 7 card reading. To try for a free reading, write your question in the live chat starting with the word question. If no super chats come in, a free question will be chosen at random. And if you need help, just ask one of our mods.
Yes, I haven't put myself on the screen. I know what everybody's thinking. Oh, thank God. So then, we just put my coffee over there. Who have we got? Keeper of the questions. Have we had a message yet? No, keeper of the questions. Let me know who. Flower Beauty, Peacock Rainbow. Good evening to you, my darling. Who else did I just see pop up in the chat? Thank you very much. Oh, Nancy Ray. Do we have a Nancy? Oh, we do have a Nancy Ray. Hello, Nancy Ray. Your question has been selected. So then, my darling, congratulations to you. Your question has been randomly chosen. I didn't even know you were here, my darling, my larling. You know what a larling is, don't you? It's a bit like a doodah. So then, let me have a wee look. Your question says, what should you expect in May? Okay, we will have a look. What am I looking for? My brain. That's what I'm looking for. Oh dear. Right. As always, we cleanse the space between readings. And we bring in Wispy. Wispy, please help my brain. Please help my brain. So then, what are we looking for? What should Nancy Ray expect in the month of May? Oh no, look at me, rhyming. Rhyming poetry. And I didn't even know it. Me. Oh, my poor brain. I think I need to go and have a lie down in a darkened room somewhere. Right then, let's have a look. What should we expect in May for Nancy Ray? Wispy, let's have a look. So we're going to read all 3 cards, Wispy, as a generic, okay? All 3 cards as a generic. What is May going to look like for Nancy Ray? Let's do this thing. Let's look at this. So then, we cut your cards. And we go with the Ace of Cups, new starts, questions over growth, and the Hierophant reversed. So let's get the big one out of the way. First, the Hierophant. What is the Hierophant? What does it mean? It's a funny old word. What the hell are you talking about, Lisa? So the Hierophant is quite often seen as the High Priest. So in the other deck, or the other, just now, the last reading, you saw the High Priestess card come up, the High Priestess. This is the High Priest, that equivalent. In a lot of decks, it is somebody that looks very papal, so very much dressed like a pope or a bishop, has that sort of very Catholic type of vibe to them. In a lot more modern decks, the Hierophant is seen more as a guru or a teacher. And so we've still got that element of perhaps a religious context, but this is very much about the search for knowledge. And quite often you'll see, like on this card, you can see the 2 keys. On the standard depiction of the Hierophant, you can often see 2 people in front of the Pope. The Pope's normally with their hands like so, and the 2 people in front are the supplicants asking for knowledge, and it is the keys to that knowledge that the Hierophant provides. So in this particular card, you can see we've got somebody who is book learned. This isn't necessarily a religious Hierophant. This is somebody who is a scientist, a teacher, a guru, looking for answers and being able to help point in the direction for those answers. So when the Hierophant is reversed, it means I think there are going to be some really tough questions that you are going to be looking for in May, and those answers may not come easily. Okay, reason I'm saying that is the Hierophant here is reversed, so it feels almost like whether it's a medical question, a legal question, or some other question on a professional, maybe a work related thing. You're going to be searching this coming month for some answers that are not going to be easy to find. Whatever it is, this isn't something that you're going to be able to do a Google search for and for it to come up and go, oh yes, your results are out of, we have found 360 billion results, as it always comes up on YouTube, on Google. This isn't going to be that, my darling. This is something else that is a lot more intense. Do you know what I mean? It's the Hierophant here is suggesting that May's going to be, Wispy, give me that again. It's either going to be frustration, or some answers that you've got might not be, hang on, give me that again. The answers might not answer your questions. That doesn't make any sense, but it kind of does. You might not get all of the answers, or the answers to whatever's going on with your life. They might not be right. Is that where we're going with this? So let's break it down. Ace of Cups. Aces are new beginnings, new starts, new ventures. Cups is your emotional suit. So this is an emotional journey in May. This is something new that is starting. It could be a new relationship, or it could be a new way of looking at a relationship. It could even be, my darling, that you've gone, do you know what? I need to make some changes in my life, and nothing changes if nothing changes, right? We all know that. Therefore, if I want to be more grounded, if I want to be happier, if I want to be more whatever, this coming month, I need to do this, and this different, right? Whatever it is, whatever this fresh start is, it's almost like you've said to yourself, we're going to do it differently in May. We're turning a new leaf. This is going to be from May the 1st, so I'm not going to do this anymore, or from May the 1st, I'm going to do this. Whatever that is, right? It's a fresh do-over. It's a new start. It's a bit like, people say, I'm going to start my diet on Monday. Right, but today's only Tuesday. So you've got Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. You've got 5 whole days. If you have 3 meals a day, that's 15 whole meals plus snacks. You could gain a lot more weight in those 15 days. Why don't you just start your diet now and just say, it's here in the UK currently, it's 20 to 9 in the evening. I've had my dinner. I can have a little bit of supper, but if I start my diet right now, then my supper will be on plan. And then Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday and Sunday are all on my diet plan, which then means when I start, on Monday, I'm 5 full days in. That will be better than eating crap food for 5 full days and then starting on Monday. Do you know what I mean? And it's one of those things. It's like, if you are turning that leaf, if you are, May the 1st, I am going to start doing X, Y, Z. I'm going to start running. I'm going to start walking. I'm going to start whatever it is. Right? That is a phenomenal, this is a really good omen that it's going to go well. For me, aces, when they're upright, that's when things are like, do you know what? This is a good sign that whatever it is that you want to do, this is a good step forward for you. The 7 of Pentacles, this is about growth choices, right? So it could be that whatever it is that this change is happening, you're going to have some questions. There's going to be some questions raised. So it could be you're going to go for counseling, and then that's going to bring up lots of stuff from your past. And then the Hierophant will be, there are going to be issues that you can't find simple solutions to. Just see what I mean? Whatever it is, this whole month is going to be based on whatever new start, whatever this new emotional side of you that you are wanting to change, enhance or grow. Whatever this is in May, it's going to be a catalyst, right? And it's going to create some changes, some longer term changes, because it's going to bring up some questions, and those questions are not going to be easy to find the answers to. I hope that makes some sense to you. It could be that you're going to do some soul searching. It could be something as simple as, do you know what, I'm looking for a new hobby. I'm going to try several hobbies, and it might be that this would represent different things that you're going to need to try. The one thing I would say about the 7 of Pentacles, my love, is that the 7 of Pentacles can sometimes relate to career, work and finances. So if this is about something to do with work, it feels like there's going to be, whatever the new start is, there's going to be a lot of options and a lot of questions, okay? And you will really have, 7s are about asking those deep questions. And so it may well be there's going to be more, like you might end up at the end of May with more questions asked than answers. And it may well be that this emotional fresh start may well find yourself at the end of May with more questions and more emotional sort of bubbles under the surface for you to deal with than you start with. Does that make sense? Because quite often when we make these changes in our life, when we say, I'm turning over a new leaf, I'm going to give up meat, or I'm going to give up alcohol, or I'm going to start walking, I'm going to start going to counseling, or I'm going to start with some mindfulness, whatever it is. When we make these changes, quite often there are reasons we haven't done that in the past. There are reasons we might have failed in the past. And when we look at things totally honestly, it's one of those bits that then creates more questions of ourselves. Does that make sense? It's like, well, why haven't I done this before? If you really want to know the answer to that, you have to look deep within. Why was I not in a position in my life to start a new diet? Why was I not in a position in my life to start a new job? What was it that held me back? What was it in me that stopped me moving forward? Do you get what I mean? I think May is going to be quite an introspective question for you, quite an introspective month for you. The one thing I will say, there is something niggling me with this Hierophant card, right? This is not in any way, shape or form medical advice, legal advice, financial advice or counseling advice. It isn't in any way, shape or form, right? And again, this being tarot is for entertainment purposes only. You make all of your own life about decisions about your own life. However, that Hierophant being reversed, sometimes it comes up if there is a professional opinion or professional decision that needs to be questioned. So if there is a medical exam or some test results, make sure that if there's any question about them, they're run again, right? If it's a legal issue, make sure you don't assume that XYZ is in the contract, or, you know, that will be in the deeds to the property, whatever it is, whatever's happening this month. Don't assume anything. Double check any piece of information that comes to you from a learned professional, someone who would normally be seen as that guru, that teacher, that advisor. Any piece of information coming from them, maybe double check. Okay, maybe double check, because that, the Hierophant reversed, can sometimes mean that those decisions or that advice is wrong. Okay, that's all I'm going to say. So just double check. I hope that helps, my darling. I really, really, really do. And again, thank you ever so much for your question, Nancy Ray. Right then, let's have a look. What time are we on? 10:02. We might have time for a quickie. Yeah, I heard it out of my head. I heard it before I said it. It should have gone through my head first and got filtered, but no. Okay, Nancy Ray, get your question in for a quickie, everybody. You've got literally a couple of seconds. I'm not going to... I will play the doodah. I'll play the doodah. Right, hang on. Where's the doodah gone? Where's the doodah gone? Do-do-do-da day, or the doodah day. Do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do-da day. Camptown something races. Right, hear this. You got literally 30 seconds.
Ask your question now. Send your question as a super chat to guarantee your 3-card reading is next. Donations of $10 or £8 or over will receive a longer 6 or 7 card reading. To try for a free reading, write your question in the live chat, starting with the word question. If no super chats come in, a free question will be chosen at random. And if you need help, just ask one of our mods.
Yes, indeed. So Aquilarius has been chosen. Right, Aquilarius, I will come to you, my darling. Just before I do, it could be Nancy Ray, sort of a New Year's resolution in May. It could be that sort of vibe. If that's what you're looking to do, you'll be prepared, have to go within to find the truth. Yes, if that is what you're looking to do, my darling, if there is something there that you are wanting to shift, then absolutely make that decision for this coming month and then go with it, and just double check any and all learned opinions. That's all I'm going to say with that one for the Hierophant. Right, Aquilarius, let me have a look. Aquilarius, where's the chat? How far back have I gone? What's that? Lisa, please reply to your email. Have I not replied? I think I replied, Flower Beauty. I will look at that after this, my love. Aquilarius. Question, will B and S work things out? Okay, my love. Let's go straight into that for you. So, Wispy, we're doing a speed run. Will B and S work things out? Whatever's going on between B and S, are they going to work things out? That's what we want to know, Wispy. So, cleanse. We did 6. I'm going to carry on for 9. There we go. So then, Wispy. Will B and S in Aquilarius's life, will B and S work things out? We're going to do the standard, where you are, what you need to know. No, we're not, Wispy. What was that? What's that other spread that just went through my head? What was that other spread? Hang on. It could be... Okay, Wispy, we're going with what B wants, what S wants, and... how the relationship will go forward. Right, okay, let's look at that. So then, what B wants, what S wants, and how things work out. Okay, right, okay. I literally don't use this spread, which is why I was just like, what do you mean, what they want? Okay, I know, right? Sometimes my gut instinct is like, don't do this. And I believe that is Wispy acting on my gut instinct to get a better spread that works better for the question. So what B wants, what S wants, and what their future is and how how we get there. So what B wants, Empress, family, abundance, warmth, nurturing is related to the Empress. The Empress is my favorite card in any tarot deck. I think I've said this several times. What S wants, so what B wants, what S wants. The Six of Pentacles. Okay, Pentacles is work, career, finances. Sixes are normally about community. This is about charity with the Six of pence in this case, and that charity element of helping other people, but it's reversed. S needs help. So far these two tally. The Knight of Pentacles. Right, so B is wanting things to work, right? B is wanting that. Wispy, I'm going to be as quick as I can, but I want to clarify on the Knight. So B is wanting the Empress. That is what B is after. So this warm, nurturing vibe, this familial vibe. So it very much feels like B wants to work things out, right? And to do things in a way that is kind. S, this is almost saying that I think S may have. Okay, thank you. So it feels like whatever this issue is, right? B is wanting that family unit to continue. B is wanting that warm vibe nurturing, right? B is wanting that reconciliation. S is kind of almost sick of having to do for other people, having to be there for everybody else, not being nurtured and cared for. And it's almost like too little too late I'm getting with this card. This Knight, this growth card, this being reversed, it's almost saying that it doesn't feel as if there's a lot of growth opportunity left. But Wispy, I'm going to move the sigil. Wispy, I want two for this card, right? We're going to do two to get to behind, and I'm going to take them, Wispy, from the middle. So then, where are we going? Let's define the Knight of Pentacles. What is, if this is what B wants, this is what S wants, and this is the relationship future, how does this hang on the reconciliation? How do we get there? How? Oh God, the Emperor. Somebody needs to be less ruly, less it's back here. Where are we going? We're going here. Oh my God. So I think it might be too little too late. Aquilarius, again, whoever these people are, they make their own decisions about their own life. But when I'm asking for clarity with this Knight of Pentacles, because this reversed, it feels like someone's thrown in the towel. It feels like this card is saying they've walked away from that growth. Again, Pentacles is money, so interesting that there's a money element coming in here. But in terms of growth, because of the way the question was asked and because of the way this spread falls, if this would be the relationship future, and it doesn't feel as if one of them has had enough. They've spat their dummy out the pram. They don't want to move forward particularly, right? When I asked to break this down, although we've got the Emperor and the Empress, which would seem to be a really good coming together of the two cards, in actual fact, the Emperor reversed, asking this particular question, it's like the whoever has been the Emperor, right? Whoever has been the one that made the decisions, that has been a bit more authoritative, they don't want to do that anymore. They want to let all of that go. They don't want to be involved in these decisions. It's like they've made the choice for whatever reason is within this relationship. It's like the Emperor has decided that they've abdicated that position, if that makes sense. This Emperor does not want to be there, and the reason being, there's too many arguments here. There is too much unhappiness at the cause, at the root, right? Too many crosswords, one too many arguments, one too many disagreements, something perhaps even as heartfelt as like a fundamental difference between the two of them. It's almost like one's a what's it called? One would be a Bernie Sanders liberal Democrat, and one would be a MAGA Trump supporter. And it's not just about how they vote, it's about how they view the world through those two different lenses. And it's almost, and I'm not saying it is that at all, but it almost feels like there's just been too many times where it feels like S may have had to compromise, and it feels like S doesn't want to do that anymore. And I think that this is what this represents. It's like it doesn't feel as if there is a chance for this to be worked on in that way anymore, my darling. It doesn't. It just feels like there is no option. Do you know what I mean? There is no way moving forward. So yeah, it doesn't look as if they will. That doesn't mean that it's over. It doesn't mean that all hope is lost, because I've got to say the Empress card is an incredibly powerful card. If S has been wronged by B, right, and B realizes, and genuinely, if this Empress, for me the Empress is such an empathic, deep-rooted, being incredibly aware. If B has accepted this Empress kind of version of themselves and is truly wanting that nurturing, family, loving, abundant energy around them, and they want to bring that to this relationship, right? There is a slim chance, a very slim chance, that with probably a hell of a lot of counselling, that this could be repaired. However, I don't get the impression that S wants that. It feels very much, as soon as this card was turned over, it was like no more charity, no more what's it called, like no more chances, too little too late, all of that. Absolutely no way of moving that forward. And then once we've delved into it with these two extra cards, again, it doesn't feel as if there's much hope there. If S is willing to go to counselling, and if B is genuinely 100% genuinely aware and has had that epiphany moment, then there is a slim chance. But the way these cards are falling at the moment, I think S is checked out. I really do, my love. I hope that helps. It's, again, you make all your own decisions about your own life. B and S will make all their own decisions about their life. The cards are only a guidance as to what the situation is right now. But yeah, it feels like it feels like S has just had enough, and that it's all, again, too little too late keeps coming up in my head. But I hope that helps, and literally the very best of luck to whoever B&S are, whoever luck to them. But yeah, hope that helps, and thank you ever so much for your question. Right, let's have a look in the chat. Aquilarius, the sister is B and her partner have broken up. Was hoping it's a bump, but not sure, as you're in another country, so you don't know how things are. I don't think it is a bump, my darling. I don't think it would mean both of them going for counselling and, you know, putting in a lot of work and effort, and I don't think that the partner may necessarily want that. Maybe for next time, check with a money translator. What's this money issue? Flower Beauty Curious. I went to settings, then purchase, but there's no option to change the currency. I don't think you can change your currency. I think the currency that if you're talking about on YouTube, I think the currency that YouTube is whatever you've set your Google. Like if you've ever bought anything on Google Wallet or anything else, it tends to be set to your country. Like wherever you are in the world, it will set to your doodah, to your currency. So in the UK, it will automatically set to Great British Pounds, GBP. So I'm assuming whichever country everybody else is in, that it will do the same. I don't think you can change that. I don't know. But anyway, thank you everybody for coming and joining us tonight. Thank you to all of the members. Thank you to the subscribers. Thank you very much. Thank you to all of you that asked questions tonight. If you didn't ask a question tonight, I'm going to say thank you anyway for watching. Much love to all of you on the replay crew. I know I was trying to do that, but then I leaned that aside. So there you go. Look, much love. Is it a heart? No, I can't do this. There you go. There's a sort of heart. Much love to you as part of the replay crew. And of course, massive love and hugs to the moderators for being so bloody lovely, for helping out on this here channel. The mods keep this channel safe and warm for everybody. While I'm, you know, got my head down looking at a load of tarot cards, the mods are the ones that are making sure that we don't get any trolls and making sure that everything is safe and calm and kind for everyone. So huge thank you to the mods. If you want to put some I don't know what this, there's an emoji for this, but if you want to put this emoji in the chat for the mods, that would be lovely. And I will see you next time. There should be a video coming up between now and Sunday on this channel. Fingers crossed. I've got that sorted. In theory, fingers crossed. There will definitely be a live stream tomorrow on the other channel. It's called Beyond Authentic Health. So if you look Beyond Authentic Health, it's mine and my partner's weight loss and just life progress in general video, where we discuss our weight loss journey and beyond. So if you fancy popping in for that, it will be tomorrow at 6:30 UK time. So we go live with all of your weight loss and health tips and tricks live on YouTube at 6:30. If not, I'll be back on Sunday evening. Sunday for the members, 6 p.m. UK time, and for all of you lovely people coming for tarot readings, I'll be live 7 p.m. on this here channel. As I always say, don't forget, you can, no, that's not what I was going to always say, because I was looking at different buttons then. Look at that, I confused myself. But as I always say, you can join our memberships if you want to at any time. Just look for the little join button, it's around somewhere. And I also do have these earrings available. They can go via our website. If you look at thewitchesroad.co.uk, they're all on there. Everything is available, and I've got to say, I absolutely love them, even if I do say so myself. But I'll see you very soon. As we always say, stay you, stay true, stay authentic, and I'll catch you on the next one. Bye-bye.
Ask your question now. Send your question as a super chat to get it going.
No. At least that's the first time I've done that tonight. That's the very first time, wasn't it? Oh, bye, everyone.
witches.
So apparently I'm a witch.
'Cause she's a witch.
I'm the love witch.
I am a witch.
I am a witch. I'm a witch. Sally just came out.
Now the witch is back.